Good girl. All right, hey guys. Today I thought I would do a little video of boundary training because at the moment we have started from scratch with every single one of our dogs as far as boundary training. And I thought it was a good opportunity just to show you guys how to start, give you a few hints and tips and just show you how we do it step by step at the moment. So a few things that you need to have ready. One is a boundary. A boundary can be absolutely anything. It can be a bed, it can be a mat. We have about 4 different types of bed in the house, so at the moment I will train the girls on all of the different beds because I want them to be able to generalise for boundaries. You need to have your treats ready. Now, I am lucky that my girls are very food driven, so I am just using their everyday kibble. Depending on your dog, you might need a higher value treat, or if you're doing boundaries in an area where there's lots of distractions, again, you'll need to have a higher value treat. But at the moment, mine work really well for the kibble, and so we just use the normal daily ration for their training. Good girl, Daphne. Now, we obviously have 3 dogs in the house, so I always train them separately, and that is really important when you're trying to train. You need to train just one at a time, take your time, because multi-dog households, it complicates the training, so you need to make the time for doing them as individuals. Each training session, really we time them maximum 3 minutes. It is tiring for them learning new skills, and you don't want them getting too frustrated. And even with, say, Betty, for example, 3 minutes is enough. She's cooked, she needs a break, she gets frustrated. So you do not want to make these sessions really long. Otherwise, it won't be rewarding, you'll get frustrated, they will get tired. So other things you need to have ready, depending on where you are in your training. One, you need to have a marker. So a marker is a word that you say to acknowledge a behaviour when it's happened, and that they're doing the correct one. So they learn to associate, oh, heard the marker, that was right, I've got a treat, some kind of reward coming. So we use 2 different marker words depending on what we're doing. So we use yes for exciting behaviours, high energy behaviours, and then we will use nice for behaviours, calming behaviours where we're trying to keep it low energy. So with boundaries, we use the word nice. Also need a release cue. So again, you can have multiple different release words, but then learning that release cue is really important because you don't want them breaking off their boundary or breaking from their sit or breaking from their down position. You want to teach them that they break when they're given the break cue. So for us, we use the word okay. Others use break, done, whatever you like, something that is going to work well for you. It's absolutely individual. All right, so we've got the bed, we've got the treats, we've got our marker words, our cue word, which of this is going to be bed. Again, you can use mat, you can say on the bed, whichever you want to do, and we've got our release words all sorted. So next step is to get your dog. So starting from the start, what we want to do is to be asking them to get on the bed and then treating them when they're on there. Daffy, bed, nice. So you can see as soon as she's got on there, I've said her marking word, and because we're using this as a calming behaviour in her, we're keeping our voice quite monotone and we're saying that marker word really nice and slowly, nice and quietly. We're not trying to increase her energy, and you just want to drip feed the treats onto the bed because we want them to start associating this bed with really good, delicious things. We're not hand feeding the treats because we want the reward to come from the bed, not from my hand. Good girl, nice. Nice. And then we'll get her to release. Okay, get it. Get it. You see, you're very terrible at finding treats, aren't you? That nose just does not work. Good girl. In bed? Nice, good girl. So when I'm doing their release, I always will then just throw a little treat for them so they can go and get it. And then I walk back with them towards the bed and I will say, bed. When I release them and say, okay, I'm giving them only a single treat and then back to the bed where I'll give them more treats so that, again, the release, yes, is associated with the treat, but they're getting a lot more reward for sitting on this bed. So we'll see that a couple more times. Okay, get it. Good girl. Bed. Nice, good girl. Okay, get it. Good girl. Bed. Nice. Okay, get it. You got it? Good girl. Bed. Nice. Good girl. Good girl. Nice. There's one more there. Good girl. Okay, get it. It's just near you. Good girl. Bed. Nice. Good girl. Okay, get it. Bed. Good girl. Nice. Nice. Okay, get it. Nearly. Good girl. Okay, no more. No more. So you see, when I finish the training session, I will always have a cue to let them know that it's done, which for me is I'll wipe my hands and I will say no more. So that way they know the training session is over. Putting everything on cue makes it a lot easier, just so that they're not watching you and you're giving incorrect instructions without you even knowing, because they're still expecting that you are in a training session. But it's still really early days with the girls because we've started from scratch. We're generalising with the beds and getting them to train on different beds because Daphne resource guards and can be really quite aggressive about that, and I do not want her to associate one particular bed as hers and have her guard that as her resource, because the girls take over whichever bed they want at the time. They also share beds, so I don't want to create a situation with Daphne where she's guarding a particular bed. If she was to start to do that, then that's something that we would work on, or if we had to, then we would teach the other girls whose bed specifically is theirs to avoid that problem. But that's a whole other kettle of fish. But this is how we are starting our boundary training at the moment. Betty is a little bit different because she can vibrate with energy and she will self-release all the time. So I'll show you another day how I handle Betty slightly different, because she does release herself all the time, and even Pickle releases herself a little bit, how to handle that situation. But today, that's all we're going to do, get you started and see how we're working with the girls on their boundaries at the moment. Right? Have a good day.